shoots coppers! Bang, bang, bang!
It's a high street, sir. No one wants to see your bottom.
You want me to black up before you arrest me? Wanna watch? Got something like that at home. It's called a dog. I'm gonna let it go this time.
Don't feel as though you have to.
Bang, bang, bang.
You all right, Jim?
Placating the Sunhill scumcass, exactly what I became sober for.
Now, when the lights turned green, he started revving and revving, and instead of pulling away, he shot back into me. Must have put it in reverse accidentally. And you can see he's obviously very drunk.
Oh, God. Turn out the light. It's all my fault. Headache.
Could you get out of the car, please, sir? Take your time.
Look, can I give you my details to give to you? It's just my name, home number, registration details, and insurance company.
Can you put your hazards on?
Yeah. You shouldn't even be walking, let alone driving.
Can you just give me a name, please, sir?
Yeah. Gerald Dennis Fablon.
Could you hand me your keys, please, sir? Have you got any identification? Thank you. E. Alexander.
Oh, good luck tomorrow.
I've got old Bailey legs, sir. Any words of wisdom?
Oh, it's just another court die. Tell the truth. Unannounced, Eric Laver surrendered himself. He put his hands up to the road rage and freely admitted he killed P.C. Hart. You arrested him. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Thanks.
Proceed. Stand by, Cass.
The Rover's registered to Hugh Alexander.
OK, stop blowing.
8-5 from Sierra Oscar. Read your car checks. No reports on either.
OK, received. Right, it's clear. Go on.
I'll be there in a minute. I'd like you to blow into this, please, sir. One long, continuous breath.
Do you mind if I head south now? I'll phone him for his details tomorrow.
I look forward to it, sir. That's enough. Will you sit quietly, please, sir? Cass, is everything all right? Shove him in the back. Take him to Epping. By the time we get there, he'll be well enough to pay you. And don't rip him off!
Is Alexander not coming with us?
No. He's ill, not drunk. He shouldn't have been driving. He's got a migraine.
What that?
Well, the uniform's a target, Cass, and he's just gobbed a bullseye.
What kind of human being is named Fablon after a synthetic material?
Paper, sir. Fablon's a laminated shelf covering.
Look, we both know that Jerry Fablon is a rather sad career litigant. 10 years ago, he won nearly £8,000 civil suit against the Met.
SO19 kicked the wrong door in.
Yeah, Fablon's And on the back of that single triumph, he's been looking without success for an easy pay packet ever since.
He's coming in at 5 to make it official.
Has Fablon got any theories why Carver and Rickman would turn a blind eye? The other driver wasn't one of us, was he?
Well, that's right, I know.
Do you believe it?
Carver, once, possibly. Under the influence, anyone could be capable of anything.
Is he showing any signs of slipping back into old ways?
Not that I can tell.
And the idea of Rickman? Well, it's ridiculous.
Oh, that's why I thought you'd like to be at the 5 o'clock meeting.
Well, why is Fablon waiting till then?
He says he's seeing his legal people.
Look, I don't want Carver or Rickman taking this any more seriously than I do. I'm damned if I'm going to help make Fablon rich at the expense of shafting 2 of my officers.
Clearly, it's a CIB matter, sir?
Yes, well, it's not official yet, is it? So technically it isn't.
That is procedurally correct, sir.
Yes.
And did Mr. Laver make any further references to Constable Hart?
He said he didn't want her death hanging over him. He admitted to killing her on the slip road, but insisted he hadn't murdered her.
And that it had been...
He said it had been self-defense.
Self-defense. Yes, thank you. And he appeared to fully understand the consequences of giving himself up.
Yes.
Yeah. And when he surrendered, voluntarily, at Sun Hill Police Station, was he alone?
Yes, he was.
Knowing what you do about Mr. Laver's often violent engagements with the police, his admitted racism, etc., did it not seem surprising to you that he was not accompanied by a solicitor?
Yes.
Yes, and why not? Here we have a self-confessed career criminal who, according to the implications of every newspaper in the country, was a cold-blooded murderer for killing one of your colleagues. Here he is, surrendering himself into your custody without any legal representative. Indeed, into the custody of a police station of such ill repute that the previous superintendent was prematurely retired.
Well, yes.
Yes. Yes, so here we have a chap who's managed to evade capture for 2 years. He's been living in Andalusia. He's got money, he's got plenty of friends. He is, for all intents and purposes, a very free man. Why? Why would he relinquish that freedom and return to the assured hostility of the media, the public, and conceivably the wrath of Constable Hart's colleagues, and surrender himself for this trial? Why?
I don't know.
No, I didn't expect you to. It makes absolutely no sense. Unless Eric Laver is telling the absolute truth. I have no further questions for Constable Worrell, my lord.
Very well, Mr. Burnby.
Has the accident book from yesterday's late turn gone up to admin yet?
Not yet, so it's here.
A broadsheet in a police station. Yeah, very cubist.
Sir?
Jim Carver's interpretation of 2 cars involved in an RTA.
It's about time we had some good press. Public's on our side for once.
The customer is always right. Yeah. Seems Eric Laver has found God. Didn't know he was lost. Hugh Alexander. Find Jim Carver for me, will you?
Terribly sorry. Mallory Perrott. One of our character witnesses has suddenly become unavailable.
The prosecution needs all the help it can get, right, Mr. Perrott? He knows Labour doesn't have to nobble the juries anymore.
The media's been nobbling them for years.
Well, let's not forget the Met nobbled a few and all.
John was Elaine's rather colourful sergeant at Faversham. He should really be sitting with the jury. You could play Henry Fonda, John. Now, we'd like to recall you as a character witness, just to answer some yes and no questions. We just want to illuminate the jury as to Elaine's basic qualities, type of thing.
I'd have to check it's okay.
Well, you do that, and we'll see you later.
You knew her from her Met days?
Before that, training school.
John Attold.
Di Worrell.
Sun Hill, yeah? Heard about Bob Cryer? Pity Laver didn't have Bob arrest him. The jury loves a good cripple. It's going to be a bit before we're on. Fancy a sandwich?
Had Alexander been drinking at all?
No, sir. He said he had a migraine.
Fablon says he saw the red light.
Well, I think his mind was made up, sir. Perhaps he wanted to see a red light. I don't know.
Did either you or Cass know that Alexander was a High Court judge?
No, sir. I dealt with him. Cass wasn't there.
What about this Fablon creature? Do you think he had any idea about Alexander's judicial celebrity?
Well, I don't know, sir. I mean, if he'd mentioned it, obviously I would have known who Alexander was.
Don't overdo the weariness, Jim. If I don't ask you, somebody from the Directorate of Professional Standards will.
I didn't think he should be driving, sir. I took his keys and I got him a taxi.
Did he say why he was driving himself?
Well, why shouldn't he have been?
Well, he's a High Court judge. I don't know. Don't they have official drivers?
Look, he didn't say anything, just yes and no's. Sir, is this going to be official?
If Fablon pushes it that you and Cass put in a fix to favour Alexander, yes, of course it will. But it's one word against two. Now, if you and Cass just tell the truth, nothing can happen.
I am telling the truth, sir.
Oi! I believe you.
Cass didn't see anything.
Look, Jim, Fablon is a poodle who likes a good bark. So don't worry.
Cass, what's the word that Conway wanted with you? This judge that Jim has allegedly given the green light to. The story's fast-tracking its way around the nick.
We didn't know he was a judge.
Well, you might not have done.
Jim said he was clear.
And you believe it?
Of course I believe him. The other driver's just staring it.
And you believe it?
On the drink, anything might have happened.
And did?
Well, Jim's doing all right now. He's been off it over a year.
Don't get angry with me.
I'm not angry at you or Jim. I'm angry at me. I've just told Conway the truth, but I still feel like a liar.
Well, that's an easy club to join. Most of us at this station have lied for Carver at some point. Welcome to the club.
I mean, I'm 3 years out of the job. I can look back without the blinkers.
Really? So what is it I'm not seeing?
But I tried to believe in for years. All that, how can we do our job when the law favours the criminal?
Well, most of the time it does.
Well, why not? Each new load of legislation that makes it tougher to convict a villain's only brought in because we were found out to be abusing the last lot.
Well, not all officers are bent, though.
But they're the only ones the public reads about. The service dug its own PR. Now it has to lie now. That's why they want a hero out of Officer Hart. Personally, heroes, I don't think there are any, not in the service. Maybe one or two. It's just officers doing their job.
Some days that feels heroic enough.
And then Hart and Laver on that slip road. You and I went there.
Meaning what?
He admits to cutting her up before they got on the motorway. He drove on, so what? She follows, cuts him up, blocks him, flashing a warrant card and a steering lock. He takes it off her, bosh.
According to Laver, though.
The forensic evidence cuts both ways. There were no witnesses.
Laver's not denying he killed her.
In self-defense. Laver gets manslaughter and Elaine Hart gets an obituary as an off-duty nutter waving a 25-pound lump of metal.
We'll be talking about another Elaine Hart.
Laver's trial's not about truth, love. It's about the Met trying on a spin.
You're that cynical. Why bother to be here?
Because she was a basic good officer. I was asked to say something about her, so I'll say it. What anyone does with it, it's up to them. What I'm not here to do is to tub thump for the Met.
Neither am I.
Yes, mate. Beef sandwich. Rare if you've got it.
Just a coffee, please.
No one wants an officer murdered. No one sits around wishing for it. But when it happens, especially in this climate, it's a PR godsend.
No one's that calculating.
And it won't hurt the prosecution having you back in the witness box as a friend of Elaine's.
How do you mean?
Anything else?
And 2 coffees to go. Right, we better go back.
I told Mr. Conway exactly what I didn't see, Jim. Don't get the idea that I was defending you, because I wasn't. I just told him the truth.
Defending me? For what?
I don't want to get pulled into this.
But you think I let Alexander off?
I didn't mean that.
Is that what he thinks?
Mr. Conway is behind you all the way. He's just asking what he has to.
Suppose Alexander was drunk. The press do their ritualistic digging, and who knows, they discover that Alexander's been drinking on the job, or even suggest it.
Well, there'd be a rush on the appeal courts. Amid claims that about 1,000 juries have been directed by a drunken judge, Laver's included.
Look, when Fablon phoned this morning, He didn't mention knowing what Alexander does for a living.
I'd still be on the phone to him if you had.
If he finds out, I see creative headlines. Met looks the other way on drunk drive charge appertaining to judge who's been like a father to them.
Have to be a very large front page. I think you're being a bit of a drama queen, sir. If Fablon reads at all, he's a tabloid man. He's not going to see a picture of Alexander on page 3.
Perhaps he already knows. Just keeping his powder dry until our showdown at 5 o'clock.
Well, perhaps he'll have another accident before then.
It is rather a long list of character witnesses, my lord.
4, my lord.
Are they all necessary?
The jury is being presented with a defence of self-defence, that it was Officer Hart who initiated the struggle that led to her death. The prosecution wishes to establish that such an action was entirely contradictory to her nature.
Are you objecting or not, Mr. Banby?
Not at all, my lord.
Go on, then.
If in doubt, wheel them out.
I recall Police Constable Worrell.
Police Constable Worrell.
So what's the vote old pro Jim Carver gave Alexander a free drink then, eh?
No one's saying he did.
I ain't saying that either. Maybe he's just looking after his own lodge. Maybe Alexander's fallen off the AA wagon. Jim's giving the old sympathy shove back in.
Tuck it in, Mickey. You're stirring it.
But there's something in the pot, though, isn't there? Alexander's a judge, and he's meant to be looking in our direction on this labour trial.
Alexander's only pro-police because that's how the press have made him.
Yeah, most of us want to believe it.
Yeah, it's lonely out there.
I don't think you've earned the right to slag off Jim. He didn't know Alexander was a judge.
All right, I got it wrong. Jim's a hero. He roadblocks Alexander's arrest because he knows if Alexander gets done, there's no one on our side of the bench.
In which case, Alexander's as guilty as Jim.
Well, the judge has given the Met fair results in the past.
So what's it worth, then? Morale earner from a bent judge.
Anyway, has anyone heard how Di's getting on?
Cass, Mr. Conway needs a chauffeur.
And how would you describe P.C. Hart's general approach during the time that you and she were fellow probationers?
Hard-working, career-minded, a decent, anonymous but respected member of the team.
Decent, hard-working, respected. Qualities which P.C. Worrell aptly describes travel anonymously, for good news rarely travels at the speed of bad. I have no more questions, my lord. Thank you, P.C. Worrell.
You told us that Constable Hart was godmother to your only child, Joshua. Nice name. Were there other godparents?
No, sir.
No. So the choice of Constable Hart must have been special indeed.
It was.
Yes. And were these responsibilities your friend took seriously?
Yes.
Yes. When was the last time you can remember her visiting your son? Try to remember.
3 years ago.
1 year prior to her death?
No, 3 years before she died.
When was the last time you saw P.C. Hart?
The christening, Joshua's christening.
3 years before she died. Would it therefore be reasonable to suggest that Miss Hart wasn't a very committed godmother? Or indeed, and here I come to my point, much of a friend?
We were both busy working in different places. People change. The police force changes you. She got married and had children. We stayed in touch.
People change, yes, they do. Thank you. Very well put. I'm glad Constable Worrell has acknowledged this universal fact. People do indeed change, as my client will himself testify later.
Good afternoon. If it's at all possible, I'd like to speak to Judge Alexander, please. Chief Inspector Conway.
The judge is still sitting, sir.
Oh, yes, I'm aware of that, but he'll be adjourning for lunch at some stage, won't he?
I'll make sure he gets the message, sir.
Thank you.
Could I give him a clue, sir?
Ah, yes, I'd like to return his car keys.
The sound of English justice, sir.
I can't hear anything. Go on, have the tour if you want, but meet me back here.
And did Miss Hart discuss with you any details of her then impending divorce?
The marriage, she said it appeared to be the pressures of the job.
Pressures which Constable Hart was bringing home?
Possibly.
Yes, quite possibly indeed. I have here a copy of the divorce petition, signed by Constable Hart's former husband, Robert Hart. The petition cites several key reasons for the breakdown of the marriage. Clearly, you were not considered by Miss Hart to be much of a confidant. The petition lays the groundwork for custody of their child, citing numerous pitched battles, several of them considerably violent ones, with Constable Hart apparently the initiator. You were aware of none of this?
No.
No. It must be for the jury to decide whether Constable Hart was a committed godmother or a committed wife, or whether the defects of character alluded to by her husband indicate a personality which may well have initiated the confrontation with my client.
I had no idea.
My point exactly. Could you tell us, please, when you were asked by the prosecution to be a character witness for Miss Hart?
This morning, after I gave evidence.
This morning? Oh. Do you have any idea why you might have been asked?
Because I knew her.
Yes, but not very well. Perhaps there was another motive for asking you. Do you understand what it is that I'm trying to say?
No.
No. My client has admitted in the past that he was a racist.
I don't...
The Metropolitan Police is currently, perhaps unfairly, being accused of institutionalized racism. An image which, understandably, they would be keen to amend. Would you not agree?
Yes.
I put it to you, Constable Worrell, that you were cynically asked to give the impression of friendship with Miss Hart, to elicit a good impression on behalf of the Metropolitan Police, and as a reminder of my client's previous bias, because you are black.
Yes? Chief Inspector Conway. I've, come to return these.
To whom?
To you.
Ah.
They were removed from your car last night. A blue 1976 Rover.
By who?
One of my officers. You were involved in a minor car accident in Sun Hill?
Oh.
I'm afraid it's been towed.
Oh, no. Not my Rover. It's downstairs in the garage. So, tell me about my accident.
Right.
Dad, what was all that about? Sorry, Cass.
Yeah, see you later. Okay, can I join Stewart?
You knew they were going to use me because I'm black.
Labour's defence or the men? I had an idea. Don't chuck your anger my way.
Yeah, well, thanks for marking my card.
Isn't it about time you mark your own?
I get what I know in the headache trade as clusters, far more acute than migraines. One sharp headache exploding into the other.
Must be very painful.
Quite atomic. I believe they might even have an association with temporary amnesia.
You mean you don't remember driving home? All the way to Epping? Or how you started the car without the keys?
No. Well, yes, that's right. I was sitting in the car. Someone shone a torch in my face. Then I drove to Epping. This is all very interesting.
Good.
What does good mean? Let me make good into something even better. I think I might have a drink problem.
All our bets dying hard, Jim. Miss Judge, one of your drunken friends is in need of a favour.
As a fact, I've actually got some, bug you. I was a bastard because I drank Tony. You don't need that excuse. You're a self-made man.
Beautiful building.
No, I always thought it's one of those buildings where everything's in the right place.
Yeah.
Ceiling, the walls, floor, just lying there.
You study architecture then?
Me? No. You?
No. I like buildings though.
Where would we be without them?
Right. You're Hugh Alexander's private driver, aren't you?
How did you know that?
You drive around, I ask around.
Why?
Well, I've just seen him in court. He looks pretty impressive.
Yeah, he can be.
So, what's your opinion of St Paul's as a building?
Are you saying you were drinking last night?
And that's the first time you've actually asked.
But you can't remember.
You look relieved.
Why should I be relieved?
You're in a quandary.
Were you or weren't you?
No. You believe me?
You answered the question.
Or is it because you want to believe me?
Meaning what, exactly?
Are you investigating me or the officer who breathalyzed me? Whoever it is, you're investigating on eggshells, as if you'd be happy not to know the truth.
I don't like being patronized.
Then do the job you're being paid for. And don't try to avoid doing it in order to protect one of your officers.
If any of my officers have done anything wrong, they would not be offered protection. And you might confirm with some degree of precision what it is you think exactly I should be protecting anybody from. Or would that put you in it?
More than me, surely. If I was let off, how many more were? Perhaps now you see where I'm coming from.
St Paul's. Take the actual building away. What are you left with?
The dome bit?
Yeah, that's right. But without the building propping it up. Where do you work then?
Sun Hill.
That's a con. There's no actual hill in it.
Paul, I need to ask you, do you know if your judge was drinking last night?
I thought this was just a walk.
It's a business walk.
Yeah, but it's the judge's business. I think you should be having a walk with him.
Because if you know that he has been drinking and driving, well, that's like a landlord of a pub lending his best customer his car to drive home in.
It's his car. I'm his driver. He's a judge.
How are you going to feel if somebody gets killed?
Who says he drinks?
I'm not interested if he drinks, just if he might drink and might drive.
Well, let's just say I get more nights off than I know how to fill. The judge spends more time driving himself.
Well, maybe if you were driving last night, he wouldn't have had his accident.
Oh, this is about that. Yeah, of course he would. Drink had nothing to do with it. The other car banged into him.
How'd you work that out?
Please sit down. I don't allow pacers in my courtroom.
I'm not pacing. And this isn't a courtroom.
Well, in a way, it is. Please. I was on my way home. Perhaps I'd been drinking. I'd given Fat the night off.
Fat what?
My driver. Fat Paul. My head was thumping. Perhaps I slowed down at some traffic light. I suppose I must have rolled back. Somebody started shouting. Yes. I might even have been breathalyzed.
Mights and perhaps. Is that what happened or not?
What does your officer say?
I should have left the first time.
I doubt he'd admit to perverting the course of justice. That would mean his job.
And your reputation, of course.
If you're looking for a card to play, reputation isn't one of them. I'm not bothered. After Eric Lever's trial, I intend retiring. I suspect you'd hoped I'd be more
pro-police.
If having your vote's contingent on ambiguous hedging and wasting police time, I'd call that anti-police.
All right. Put yourself in, say, the place of a jury. Perhaps one that is trying to make up its mind even as we speak. Is the defendant lying, or is the police evidence credible? On the face of it, a very simple dilemma. Two opposing versions. The jury must try to decide which is the truth. In both cases, the credibility of the police is at stake. What do you think?
I think you're a poisonous hypocrite who probably hasn't had sex in a very long time.
The angle of the dent, velocity of movement, impact status, many other big words. Based on a reasonably sound vehicle pathology, I'd say the other car banged into him. I patched it up a bit this morning after he got in.
But last night, you don't think he'd been drinking?
He said take the night off, so I took it. Maybe the other bloke was drunk.
The other bloke said that he was. Hang on, after he got into work? But if Alexander didn't have his keys, then how did he drive it?
Who said he didn't have his keys?
Well, let's say that I said it.
He's got a spare set. In the glove compartment. He's the only guy I know who keeps his gloves in there.
Oh, blimey. Paul, you're a pretty sensitive bloke. If you know the judge is going to be drunk behind the wheel and he hits someone, you're going to feel like it was you that did it. Think about it. Nice talking to you.
Was it?
Yeah, of course it was.
Okay, see you, boys.
If I had been drinking, but this is worse. This is me. I'm lying to people that I respect. I'm resentful, I am full of anger, I'm full of fear, and I can't drink. I can't take away the pain.
The judge is the last person I'd let off.
I felt sorry for him. He was what I was, what I could be.
And now you're feeling sorry for yourself. Poor Jim. I can't forgive you. I can't tell you nothing that you haven't heard yourself around these rooms 1,000,000 times. How long have you been off it?
1 year, 3 months, 2 weeks, 1 day.
You sound like Robinson Crusoe. You got off the island 15 months ago. It's not about staying off the drink anymore. It's about living off it.
I can't. I don't think I can. I just...
It's up to you.
I've got to look someone in the face and lie again. It's exactly the same as it was before.
So you're still a liar? You found out something the hard way.
What?
Don't lie. But since you have, what are you going to do about it?
So what do I do? What, admit it?
Yeah. You've admitted it to me. Admit it to a boss and you'll get sacked.
So what, I stick with a lie?
You'll make that decision yourself. If you can't, here's a £5. The first couple of drinks are on me. Grow up or piss off and die.
Come on.
Sorry, Sarah.
Where's the car? I've had enough justice for one day.
I was having a word with Alexander's driver.
Anything incriminating for me to bite on?
Well, something to chew on anyway.
Right, come on.
Back early?
Sir,
Well, I hope you impress the prosecution as to PC Hart's good character.
he certainly didn't impress me with theirs.
Well, I suppose they have to employ any tactic they can. Every policeman in the country wants Eric Laver behind bars.
Yes, sir. Apparently it'd be good for morale.
Now, logically, sir, if I had let him off, he'd be grateful, so why stir it?
It's coppers like us that are causing public morale to run at such a low ebb, unquote.
Us?
Yes, he accused me of covering for you.
I wasn't rude to him. I got him a taxi.
Cass spoke to Alexander's driver. Alexander had a spare set of car keys. After you left, so did he. If he'd have been drinking, he could have killed someone. Have you been lying to me?
No, sir.
Have you been lying to me?
No, sir! No!
Better that came from me than CIB, which is where Fablon is going to put it. And God knows how Alexander's going to stir that pot. You make sure you're around after Inspector Monroe and I have spoken to Fablon. 5 o'clock.
Yes, sir, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too. It never happened.
The road rage trial was concluded by a jury at the Old Bailey.
Labour got off day. Manslaughter.
2 years.
Suspended.
Surrounded by his lawyers, a jubilant Eric Labour was hurried to a waiting taxi and whisked away to Heathrow. He's expected to return to Spain immediately.
The service didn't get the hero it deserved.
Killer waiting for a victim. Asbestos up there, is it?
Certainly not.
Pity. You and me. We could have got a claim going,
Mr. Fablon, I'm Inspector Monroe. This is Chief Inspector Conway.
I was expecting a one-to-one.
We were expecting a legal team.
Oh, yes. Yes, my legal representatives have been delayed, unfortunately. Late sitting in the European Parliament in Brussels.
Shall we go through?
I did say to my wife I'd be less than an hour.
I thought you sued her after the divorce.
Oh, Di. How did it go?
He got manslaughter, if that's what you mean.
What do you mean?
That it'd be good to get home to my son.
Well, I heard Labour's QC played the race card.
I think it was our side who dealt the pack.
Labour must have given the performance of his life,
Whatever. I'll start living with it tomorrow.
along with everything else.
Sorry?
I'm an alky. You're black. We're both in the Met.
Being black isn't a disease.
I didn't mean it like that.
Sorry, Jim. I just need to get out of here.
Justice has to be served. Preferably to my home address. And made out to G.D. Fablon. It's a public place. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. You know, I could sue the Met under a variety of European anti-smoking directives on the secure evidential basis of contracting sickness due to passive smoking.
No one's smoking now.
Did you mind if I light up then?
If you feel you need one.
Perhaps you could sue yourself.
So?
Having investigated the preliminary facts, I believe that my two officers are entirely without fault.
That's a given.
However, even though it's your unsubstantiated word, I'm procedurally bound to pass your complaint forward, should you wish to pursue it.
Your two officers bypassed justice. Who was he anyway? A High Court judge?
It's worth mentioning that as well as my officer's been investigated, you will be investigated as well.
I lead an honourable life.
A fighter for truth and justice.
That's it, yeah. It's a calling.
It's a calling that's kept you very busy. Not just in Sun Hill, but I'd hazard a guess around the entire country.
And Europe's been a blessing.
To such an extent that a suggestion could be made that your calling would appear to be more like a sustained career.
I'm morally bound to sue. Some people see visions, I see compensation.
How honourably candid.
Sorry, there's a rush on, sir.
I'll see you later.
Of course, any investigation into the accident itself would insist on scrutinising your insurer's damage assessments, detailing the damage sustained to your vehicle. You wouldn't object to that.
Why?
Well, any experienced accident investigator would be able to clear this matter up once and for all. About exactly whose responsibility the accident was.
It was his responsibility.
I mean, it could mean, for example, that the forensic report would indicate that the accident was your fault.
You saying I'm fibbing? About him being drunk? And that I'm using that as an unfair advantage to claim that he reversed into me? He was drunk.
I know a drunk when I see one.
Cass, are you in here?
Yeah.
You've had a call. Someone by the name of Fat Paul said to tell you he's been given the night off.
Right, OK, thanks.
Running away from violence is an option my officers haven't got. You didn't see the other officer at all while the man you bumped into was being breathalyzed. You didn't see a red light on the breath gear because it didn't show up.
The light was red. Hang on. What do you mean the man I bumped into?
Didn't you?
Look, I admit there may have been one officer there. But I saw the light turn red. Green, amber, red.
Like traffic lights changing, reflected in your windscreen?
Like a breath test proving positive?
I'm simply putting to you now what will be put to you later. If there's any doubt about who's responsible for that accident, and no doubt whatsoever about your history as an addictive, even vexatious litigant, I can see a giant shadow being cast over your credibility.
Someone's going to have to prove all that.
I don't think anybody's going to have to bother, are they? And another thing. Whatever your gripes are about global policing, you rest assured that if you ever have to make a call, those officers you've been slagging off will be the first to respond.
Right. Litigation. I'm addicted. But then there's a fortune out there for a pedant. Here's a confession. I could have been a millionaire by now. It's one of my biggest regrets.
What is?
Not being black.
Jerry Fablon has decided not to make any complaint.
I'm glad, sir.
Aren't you going to say that, in your opinion, he had nothing to complain about?
I've been saying that all day, sir.
Sit down. I've heard that Alexander might be having a drink tonight. He's given his driver the night off again. Now, the chances are that he'll be driving home on his usual route through Sun Hill. Can I ask you a question, hypothetically?
Well, of course, sir.
You're sitting in the patrol car. A blue Rover passes by. It seems the driver's been drinking. You stop the Rover. You recognize the driver as a certain well-known High Court judge. You breathalyze him. This time, you get a red light. What do you do?
I'd arrest him, sir. Of course.
Right. I've had a word with Inspector Monroe. I've organised some overtime for you and Rickman tonight.
Right, sir. Sir, hypothetically, this judge, wouldn't his arrest be a potential blight on the supervising officer, gaining him no advantage at all with his superiors?
No, quite the opposite. A pro-police judge done for drunk driving would just show the press how impartial we are, and we are impartial, aren't we?
Well, of course, sir.
Also, any arrest would only help to generate some pride in our grassroots membership. However, speaking personally, the Met's morale only comes a very close second to my own.
Would you mind getting out the car, please, sir?
It's all over. I swear on the Bible. I've had my last drink.
That's the easy part.